There's no denying the success of Garmin in the cycling computer world, but you'd be forgiven for being confused by the sheer range of options that they offer. Helpfully, we've put together this Garmin buyer's guide to help you work out exactly which model is right for you. We'll begin with their flagship Edge models before moving down their range to the slightly older ones. The Garmin Edge 20 and 25 are Garmin's smallest offerings, but they're not short on features. They're primarily aimed at new GPS users, but old hands who want a computer with minimal fuss will also really get on with them. Both the Edge 20 and 25 can do speed, distance and time, but the Edge 25, this one here, is slightly more advanced and is capable of doing basic navigation and even has customizable data screens. Garmin's flagship higher-end models include the Garmin Edge 820, this one here, and the Garmin Edge 520, this one here, as well as the Edge 1000. This is the Edge 1000, once a pedigree Edge model, but now usurped by the Edge 820, which has a lot of the same features. The Edge 1000 remains a great model and is still well used by riders everywhere. It has this massive 3-inch touchscreen display, which makes it dead easy to see. Just like the newer 820, you compare it to your phone, your Di2 shifters, and add up to 10 different data screens, all bespoke to how you like to ride. But times have changed, and the 1000 has now got two younger, more impressive siblings, the Edge 520 and the Edge 820. We'll start with the Edge 520, which has now replaced the old Edge 500, which has been discontinued. Just like the Garmin Edge 820, it's a real performance pusher. It's capable of conducting advanced performance and power analysis, FTP tracking, and cycling-specific VO2 measurements. The Edge 820 does all of these things, but a little bit more. For example, it's capable of doing lactate threshold measurements, stress scores, and its headline feature, Group Track. Basically, this allows you to keep track of up to 50 people in a 10-mile radius, so if you drop all of your mates, you'll always know where they are. Plus, built-in incident detection means that if you have an accident when out riding, it'll automatically ring your family and friends. The Edge 820 and 520 are also compatible with Garmin's smart products, including its Varia lights, its radar and its Verb action camera. But the hardware does differ between the two, and the Edge 820 uses a touchscreen, whereas the 520 still uses buttons. Now, the next few products are no longer for sale on Garmin's website, and they're becoming harder and harder to track down on the major retailers. But we're going to cover them anyway because they're still very popular models and in case you want to buy them second-hand. The 200 is much the same as the Edge 20, but slightly less extravagant. You can't alter its data screens, but it will show you the basics of what you need when you're out riding. The 510 was a step up from the 500, with a slightly larger body, a touchscreen, and it's a dedicated performance unit in its own right. There are lots of features here that the more recent models have. For example, it was the first model to have live track, and it's compatible with GPS GLONASS and ANT Plus sensors, including power meters. It's compatible with smartphones thanks to Bluetooth, and thanks to a recent software update, it's also able to use Strava Live segments. It does, however, lack sophisticated mapping and navigational functions. Much the same as the 510, the 810 has now been replaced by its new, younger sibling, the Edge 820. It still has a touchscreen, still has customizable data screens, and is compatible with ANT Plus sensors and can do navigation, but it doesn't use GPS GLONASS. It is also compatible with smartphones thanks to Bluetooth, and much like the 510, is now able to use Strava segments. So there you go, everything you need to know about Garmin's various Edge cycling computers. From the new flagship models to the older, discontinued ones, you now know exactly what you need to boost your cycling.